partners once again. A little business between friends, and always just a step ahead of the law. Always just a step ahead of the law.
Well, the guerrilla farming is difficult. You know, if you got 40 pounds from a grow show, you know, that was a lot, 40 pounds. You know, and of course it was 4,000 a pound, 4,500 a pound, 4,000 pounds is what I usually got. But then I never knew the buyers, you know, anyway. So I just give it to my partner and he'd sell it and give you the money. Well, you had to have sun, but you had to have cover. And if you put them underneath the trees, you would get nothing. So you had to risk it, you know, maybe, you know, 4 or 5 right here and, you know, just spaced out. And he pruned the brush around it to kind of like manzanita was good to do, or some tan oak. And you had to make sure it didn't look artificial. You had to make it look natural. And you look out for your tracks. And, you know, and you camouflage your work, whatever you did. And your water line was your biggest problem because you had the infrared that could look down. So you had to hide it, had to bury it. That was the hardest part, digging those water lines. So, and bury them. And then you had the deer problem. So you use deer netting, you know, 1/2-inch black net, and you put that around your plants. A lot of times your plants get so big, you know, you could, if you get, the bigger your hole, and if you give them 3/4 sun, they'd get, you know, 8 feet by 8 feet by 10. You just had to hide them though. But smaller plants, plant if it's smaller, well, it's because of the small hole you just let it have. You know, smaller the hole, the smaller the plant. The more the dirt, the bigger the plant. I can remember putting in some huge holes, just big, huge bowls. And then the plants got really big too. But, you know, they spot them and then they come in and or somebody would find them, you know. It was always on our own property. We didn't go to other people's property. You know, we just kept it to our property or places that the owners said we could do it for. They'd split it with them. That's how that worked many years ago. But, you know, that's how you got started. That's what everybody did back in the day. And of course, when the helicopters come over, I had a foreman. His name was Harry Larry. He was a president of the Hangman's Corporation, which is a motorcycle group like the Hells Angels. And he said it was just babysitting. He didn't want nothing to do. So I gave him a spot to build a house on. He built a house on it. And he used to grow around his house a little bit. The plants were little too. He didn't get the big ones, just little ones, but they were all $4,000 a pound, you know. He can remember picking up his 15-gallon grow pots or grow bags, bend it back like this in the woods, and the helicopter would be coming over, and he'd just cover up his face with the plant in his hands. That's what he did.